Okay, so I'm going to be quick and give you a quick update from Redbubble from an investor's perspective and just pick out some high points. The AFR article which came out, I think it was on Friday last week, was pointed to the significance of the Redbubble listing. As Sam mentioned, we are the only global consumer tech company, I think, which at this scale listed on the ASX. So that does mean we get attention. That's overwhelmingly a positive thing. I just want to point to some of the fundamentals of Redbubble. The most important thing is, which you're all familiar with, is we're a marketplace. That drives our economics, it drives who we are, and it drives what we do. The nature of the marketplaces is the more sellers we have, the more buyers we have, the more buyers we have, the more sellers we have. That as I go through it, that's just picking out the high points. If you understand the nature of the marketplace, that also addresses the concerns which we've had expressed about Redbubble during the Investor Roadshow. So we're creating the world's largest marketplace for independent artists, bringing more creativity into the world. When you think about the marketplace, the consumers often or the investors would talk about, well, why isn't it going to stop? What's happening in Redbubble that, why isn't there, I know you've been growing at 30 to 50 or 60% per year, why won't that stop? The answer to that is because we are global. Unlike a Seek or a REA, which are great marketplaces, which we understand in Australia, and we can count the number of houses, we can count the number of jobs. In the case of Redbubble, the marketplace itself is global, and it is that we can't see the ceiling. It's there beyond where we are, and so that gives us the capacity for that long-term sustainable growth. The second point about it is the network is that people will say, okay, I get that, but why won't somebody else come in? What are the barriers to entry? And again, it's the marketplace which creates those barriers to entry. If you're where the consumers are, you're where the sellers are. If you're where the sellers are, you're where the consumers are. eBay, with all its resources, couldn't dislodge Trade Me in New Zealand. Fairfax, with all of its resources, couldn't dislodge Seek and REA once they got going. Marketplaces are just inherently hard to move once they've got an entrenched position. In addition, the nature of the marketplace, people will say, well, why won't your customer acquisition costs go up? Marketplaces just can retain low customer acquisition costs out to the long term because of the way in which the sellers come and the buyers come, and they attract each other. So we've had, since we started the paid marketing, our free sources of traffic had been about 70% all that time. We've actually got more efficient on the paid as we've gone along. So unlike a Surf Stitch, for example, which has to go out and acquire more customers and becomes more expensive, the nature of the marketplace means it's not a factor for Redbubble. In addition, we're an unusual marketplace because the work continues to exist on Redbubble. So 60% of the sales for next year are from work which already exists on Redbubble, because unlike a REA, for example, when you sell your house, the house disappears or it's gone out of the marketplace. When you sell the T-shirt on Redbubble, it continues to exist. Finally, the outsourced print on demand. The outsourced print on demand gives us the positive working capital which has funded the business. So one of the biggest questions we had is what's going to happen? What's the use of the capital going to be? And the answer was always going to be, well, it goes onto the balance sheet. Even at the end of FY17, we have the same amount on the cash in the bank as we have at the beginning of the bank, and that's because the marketplace is actually funded by the fulfillers and by the artists who provide the fulfillers who are actually doing the printing for us. I will point I'm actually wearing, there's another big difference with Redbubble. We have been around for a while. We've been around for 10 years. So like an Atlassian or an Akinx or a WiseTech, we're getting pretty good at what we do. We understand our business. This T-shirt, which I'm wearing, is actually about 9 years old. It says Schrodinger's cat, and about 2% of the world understand that that's a funny joke. But it's, that's the nature of Redbubble. It's that obscure content which only exists, and it also points to the fact that, we're buying the word Schrodinger's cat T-shirt, which is not a lot of people are buying those sorts of keywords, and that's why we can get them profitably. So that's just a little point about how we've come from. Just where are we in terms of the forecasts? I guess I'm going to say exactly what you want me to say, and I'm going to say it. We're tracking to forecasts. I'm not going to say any more than that. The lawyers have been really clear about that. We're tracking to forecasts. That's what you want to do. Certainly the costs are well and truly under control. The margins are well under control, and the GTV, we're tracking to forecasts. So that's where we are on all of that. GTV was gross transaction value, just to remind you, our equivalent of sales, and off which comes revenue. Just a few highlights of what we're doing. So in terms of where we're investing the resources, as I said, it's all about making the marketplace go around more smoothly and more efficiently. So it's about the products and supply chain. So there's been a good deal of work over the last 4 or 5 months in improving the shipping times. So and improving shipping times, improving the supply chain. So our production partners in Brisbane are coming online slowly as we speak, so they're getting the machines will be delivered to them very shortly coming out from Israel, and they'll certainly be online well before the Christmas season. The artisan content team, that's working extremely effectively in terms of the marketing through the artists, and we've now got the Artist in Resident program running in San Francisco. The new geographies, the German website is that's actually tracking very well. That's 70% year-on-year growth out of the German website. And then French and Spanish are coming a little bit ahead of schedule. So the French website should be on beta either this week or next week. We'll be in beta until we're sure, but not for that long. And then Spanish will come before the Christmas season. And finally, the mobile and customer experience. I've got a couple of examples which I'll show. We've launched 5 new products since January. We're actually we'll be launching a couple of new products a month for the next period of time, focused primarily on women's apparel products. Some of them, the iPhone wallet has gone extremely well, and the new men's T-shirts are also tracking very well as well. So that's where we are on that. The Just On pages, we just see a change in the home page, which you may have noticed. So we see the old home page, the new home page is there showing the images as products, but also that's got personalisation built into it. That's as we're starting to roll out personalisation, so we all see it just a slightly different home page. That will become more differentiated over time and will run through the website, and also the experience which you get on Redbubble, which you see through your Facebook ads or through your Google ads. More personalisation is coming. And finally, this is just showing what the work which is going on with the in terms of the website development. This is the mobile view of the website which we developed first. The old one is on the left-hand side. It says adding 2 new notebooks to order. That was actually part of the new, but it was for various reasons it was shown on the old as well. That's increasing our average order value. We're seeing good uptake on that. More importantly, though, you now see when you log out, when you're about to log out, you actually see the products you've bought, not the images. And if you want to add more, you just do a plus and a minus. You don't actually have to go back and edit it. So that's had a good improvement, of about a 5% improvement on conversion. And you also see the exact shipping cost, and we also provide the shipping time. Again, that's been very effective in terms of improving conversion. So this is the sort of detailed work which we do to improve the fundamentals of the website. Finally, what about baby dragons and bikers? Redbubble is high profile. We're getting higher profile. We will attract attention. That's the nature of what we do. We're very confident in our legal position in relation to both cases. We think that they've either deliberately or not deliberately misunderstood our position as a marketplace. We don't create the images. We don't manufacture the images. It is the marketplace where that occurs. I think that it would be probably fair to say that they were, it provided an opportunity for them to sue us. It was convenient to sue us now. I'm told that we're not alone in being sued in the latter stages of an IPO in the hope that you'll settle quickly. We're clearly not going to do so. Our legal position is clear and we'll be defending those cases and confident they'll be resolved satisfactorily.